Hello, welcome back to Sharks Happen. My name is Hal, I'm your host, going over shark attacks from the 1900s still present, mostly large sharks, and we'll get started right away. We're going to head over to São Jorge, which is off Madeira Island, Portugal. The date is December 5th, 1979. Fernando Braco de Abreu, 19 years old. He is doing some spearfishing and he's right next to shore. All the details are is that he got attacked. Two men were there, they witnessed the attack, they went into the water, got him out. His leg was bitten, one leg was bitten and damaged too bad. They tried to get him in for help, but he ended up passing away before he got in. They don't give any conditions, they don't give any information at all, distance from shore, depth, nothing on this one. So, you know, I would think that it was murky water. I've seen that before where the shark bites it and has no interest in it, but gives it a hefty bite. Maria Cormaros was in murky water when she was bit off of California there. You know, murky water will do it every time. You know, you get a harder bite than normally, and those test bites where you feel a tug, that isn't going to happen in murky water. Most of the time you're going to get bit. So that's our story, and we're going to move on. And then we're going to head over to Cable Beach, West Australia. The date is November 22nd, 2020. Charles Cernobori. He is 59 years old, and he is out doing some bodyboarding. He gets himself 30 to 40 meters from shore. It's 8:40 in the morning, so he's real close to shore, you know, 40 meters. And he's attacked badly. Not a lot of details that I can find on it other than his arm was severed, well, his hand was severed. His leg was partially severed or actually severed. It's hard to tell. I've seen two different reports on it that it's one or the other. I believe one of the files actually has it that it's either or. So there's two different stories out on this one on what happened. Very violent attack. They called the police in. The shark stuck around the area for a good long while, long enough for the police to show up. They showed up and they got authority from the fisheries to shoot at the sharks. So they took 25 shots. They used a 22 semi-automatic Glock. And for those that actually listen to mainstream media, when you pull the trigger on a semi-automatic, no matter how long you hold it, you only get one bullet. So they used semi-automatic pistols, they were Glocks, and they shot at this thing 25 times. The shark just disappeared and left. They said that they missed. I don't know that they were trying to hit him. You're a bad shot if you can't hit a shark. You probably had a pretty decent distance, and it was a 12-foot shark that they said. Some people said from 9 to 13 feet. I've seen 12 feet. We'll go with 12 feet on this. Plenty big shark. Did major damage to Charles. It's an attack, and I'm going to put it down as a non-predation. It you know, severed some limbs, but it didn't consume them. So we're going to put that down as an attack, not an attempt to predate, fatal. Okay, now we're going to head back over to Second Beach, Port St. John, South Africa. The date is December 18th, 2009. Tshintshekile Nduva. He's 22 years old. He is a lifeguard, and he is out doing some swimming. He's got another lifeguard swimming right behind him. He says he's a few meters behind him. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. The water is very murky, and they're swimming along, and he said that the witness said that the attack, the gentleman swimming behind him, said the attack was very quick. Nduva was swimming, all of a sudden his arms went up and he disappeared under the water. They found his remains a week later. They don't say exactly what was done, but you know, it was probably not in good shape. Shark probably took him away and probably did some chewing on him. I'd like to say this is a bull shark, but you know, unlike with like California or Florida beaches, where in California you don't have a lot of tiger sharks, in Florida the great whites don't come up into the shallows. On Second Beach it could be any of the three, and you know, it's hard to tell. I would say bull shark, but I'm not going to put it down as that. They didn't get a size of the shark. It was very quick. I don't even think that anybody saw the shark. They didn't mention that he saw the shark. Just his hands go up under the water. We're going to put this down as an attack and a predation. Okay, now we're going to head over to Fiji. The date is September of 2015. Villiame Lautiki, he's out doing some spearfishing with some others, and he's quite a distance from the boat. He says when he's swimming along and a shark comes out of nowhere, a tiger shark comes out and snatches onto his leg. He takes the butt end of his spear gun and hits it in the snout, and the shark lets go and goes away before it comes back. And it comes back, and now he's in a fight. He is in a fight with this tiger shark for a half hour. He's screaming for the people on the support boat, but it's too far away for them to hear. He's repeatedly having to fend off this shark. He's bleeding from the leg. And he's beating the shark off every time it makes a round back. Finally, about a half hour later, somebody hears his calls. The boat comes over, they get him, they take him in, and then they transfer him to a hospital, and he survives. He ends up with wounds on his legs. I haven't seen what the extent of them is. Hopefully it wasn't a severed leg or anything like that, but tiger sharks can be dangerous, and he had a fight of his life, a half-hour fight in a shark. I can't imagine sitting there trying to fight off a shark for a half hour, but I've seen this happen. So that's our story, and we'll move on to the last attack of the day. And now we're going to head over and finish out our unprovoked attacks at Lower Point. That's next to Albatross Beach in Jeffreys Bay, South Africa. The date is October 11th, 2013. Burget van der Westhuizen, 74 years old, he decides to go for a swim. They said that he was mowing his lawn, looking at the sea conditions the whole time he was mowing his lawn, because it was calm, almost no swells, and crystal clear. So he wanted to go for a swim. He obviously goes for a swim, and at 11:30, authorities are contacted that there's been a shark attack. Witnesses on the beach had seen a commotion in the water, stirring up of the water out just past the breakers. This is at 11:30 in the morning they got the call, so 11:30 he was attacked. They saw him past the breakers and they saw the commotion. There was a kayaker that was making his way into the beach, and they had asked him to go over and check it out, so he paddled his way over. When he got there, he saw half a man's body, the upper half, with the shark sitting there, about a 13-foot great white, taking bites out of the body. And when he would try to grab the body, the shark would go and get him between him and the body. So he decided there was nothing he could do. He paddled his way in because he was worried about his safety. So the authorities get there, and the shark is still there. And to chase it away from the body, they had to get on jet skis, and they kind of chased it away from the body on the jet skis, and it left it alone. They were able to recover some of the remains. It was a vicious attack. It lasted quite a long time. I'm not sure if the shark hung out after that. Definitely a predation attempt. Definitely going down as an attack and a predation by a great white. And that's our story of Burget. Okay, we're going to finish out our show with a new segment called Stats from the King. King being H. David Baldrich of the Shark Attack File. He's got some stats on defending yourself with weapons against shark attack. So we'll go over those. These stats are from 1968 prior. The Navy stopped funding in 1968. It sat dormant for 20 years. So all these stats from Baldrich are from 68 and prior. 87 cases where somebody used a weapon to defend themselves against a shark. It actually worked. The shark either stopped attacking or the attack got much less violent. 60 of those cases where the weapon was used, it had no effect at all. Shark acted like it wasn't even bothered by it and just kept on doing what it's doing. And in 9 cases, the shark went frenzied. It went off. It got furious. So we'll discuss one of those cases right now. Ian Garrick, in January of 1967, he was out near Cape Point in South Africa, and he was doing some spearfishing. He's in the water, and he's somewhat near his boat, but a 7-foot tiger shark shows up by him, and it starts doing circles underneath him, and probably arching its back, acting all frenzied like it would, like it's disturbed. If you see a shark and it starts bending its body into a hump, it's a mad shark, and get away from it. Smaller sharks will do that. I don't know that large sharks do that. I don't know a big great white will hump its body before it attacks. This is smaller sharks, blue sharks, oceanic whitetips. I actually saw an oceanic whitetip over in Brother Island. There's a video, and you can see it doing its back arching before it goes and bites a guy. I'm like, why are these divers not leaving that shark alone? They can't see that it's upset. But anyway, they couldn't see it was upset, and one of them ended up bit. But he's out there, and anyway, he ends up having to put a spear into the head of the shark. So he shoots the shark, and then he goes and gets himself up in his support boat. A couple other people in the support boat with him. This shark went off. This thing started ramming the boat multiple times, rammed the boat. It was biting wood. They said it had wood on the outside of the boat, on the outside, and it was tearing chunks of the wood, the woodwork off of the boat. And there were other spear fishermen all in the water, and they were thinking that they had a prize fish of some sort, and they all started swimming over towards the boat. Now the people on the boat are now hoarse, screaming out, "Don't come over here." They ended up having to kill the shark, and then they dragged it up on board. Nobody else was hurt. Nobody got hurt. But that's one of those cases where when you shoot the shark, it'll go crazy. This is before 1968, but I've seen this happen. I've got a case where a kid shoots a mako shark and it comes and bites him. That was over in Florida. We'll go over that one. I think it's a smaller shark, 5 feet or something like that, but we'll go over it. It was an interesting story. But I wanted to go over those stats for you that are in the water and you're defending yourself, that, you know, you do have a really good chance, you know, 6 out of 10 times I would say, that you use a weapon by the stats that I see from David Baldrige. 6 out of 10 times it's going to work. The other 4 times it's not going to make a difference, and then every once in a while the shark's going to go crazy. Those are the stats on what happens when you use weapons. I hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you join me again. We'll be back again in another couple days here with another show, and until then, remember, if you go in that water, you are much more afraid of those sharks than they are of you.